It's another beautiful day on the homestead. We've got another project for today. Got a new hot water heater. Stick around for a minute, show you what we're doing. So if you've been following along with our story, we've got our own well, finally. We don't have to keep filling the tank on the RV to get water. But the hot water heater has never worked. So we need to put a new one in, basically. It's an older Prowler trailer. It's a great trailer, but the parts are expensive if you can find them. And I didn't feel like spending a ton of money on this hot water heater. So we got an on-demand hot water heater, which I'll show you here in a minute. But the dilemma with working on plumbing with a trailer, a travel trailer, is it's all hidden. Everything on a travel trailer is really well hidden because it's so compact. So I went up underneath the RV and found the gas line that goes to the old hot water heater. Now the gas line goes down this side of the RV and then transfers over to the other side of the hot water heater. So what I did is I just disconnected the pipe, unscrewed the black pipe that goes across, and used the elbow to come up through the floor here. I want to see pipe thread sealant, this stuff right here, on gas lines. That's what county wants to see to make it up to code. So that's what I used. Made sure and tighten them up real tight, and I put an off valve right there so that I can turn it off. I can still have gas for the range and the heater inside in case I don't get this all hooked up today. And then I mounted the hot water heater on two boards that I milled out on my mill, I don't know, a week or so ago. Just spanned in between the 4x4s and mounted this up there. The next thing I need to do is run the exhaust up through the roof. So what I did here is I used a plumb bob to find the center of my exhaust directly overhead. And then I made a box for this. This is a heat shield for your exhaust. It has a 1-inch tolerance from your exhaust, your double-walled exhaust, to anything else. And that's 1 inch right there. So you make something that this fits into. It's a little snug. It fits right up in there. Screw it down. And then your exhaust fits right there and nothing's around it to catch fire. Now before we want to go up on the roof and cut a hole, we want to cover this exhaust port. I could take this thing back down, but I really don't feel like unscrewing all the screws and then putting it back up. It's much easier just to cover the exhaust port. A Ziploc bag works pretty good on this one. It's a 4-inch exhaust, so a quart-sized Ziploc bag fits nice and snug right over the top of that. But anything to keep, you don't want stuff falling into this exhaust port. So we're up here on the roof, got our hole cut. Had to make a slight modification because of the angle of the roof. I couldn't just put a square box in there and center that hole because this pipe was touching the OSB up here. So I trimmed it out so we have an inch worth of clearance there, which is what we're supposed to have. We got this piece of flashing, goes over the top of that, and the roofing will sit on top of that. And it's hanging over enough, I shouldn't have to worry about roofing going over the other side, just sealing it around. And then there's a rain guard that slides over this, and you seal it really good around there. And then of course the top piece, the vent, so the rain doesn't fall in here. So that makes all the holes in the roof are done. So I can continue putting the metal roofing up and get this thing more or less weathered in, so I don't have to worry about rain getting in. I can foam seal what I need to, finish putting the insulation up later. I think we'll be good to go. So let's get some more roofing done. So I got the roof basically patchwork together as far as the edges go so that I can seal them up, and then I can just lay the roofing on top and seal that up. And that should get this roof weather tight. Shouldn't have a problem with it leaking or anything. It doesn't look the best. Because I'm going from a wood structure to 2 campers, it just looks kind of hokey. So I'll let you look at this real quick and I'll try and explain what I did. So to go between the living quarters and the Prowler trailer, I cut corrugated roofing into strips, and I just went down and I tried to make the angle steeper at this end, and I tried to make it angle in so the water would flow that way. That way I wouldn't have a problem with drainage. There isn't much I can do. I can't cover the vents. I can't do a lot. This side was a little bit easier because it's all smooth. I did the same thing. I took corrugated roofing and I just angled it, and I made sure that it was higher on this side and lower on that side so the water would drain that way. I still have to go through and seal it with some of that black tar, whatever, blackjack, whatever it's called. I forget what it's called. But I'll go through and gob that on real good, real thick, make sure I don't have a problem. And then I'll go and put metal roofing over the center section, going around the chimney and around the hot water heater vent. Make sure those are sealed really well. I think I'll be fine. The hokey part of the roof, this part right here. There's 3 pieces kind of jimmy rigged together because I have this low spot right here that hopefully is going to drain that way. I'm going to try and get some of it to drain that way. But the wooden roof, the part we built, is higher on this side, and the camper roof is higher on that end. So it kind of has a funky pitch to it. I had these 3 pieces left over from doing some other metal roofing work, so I used those and just kind of patchworked it together. I got to put a couple more screws in the end down there, and then I got to seal all the seams to make sure that no water goes back up under it. It doesn't have a lot of slope, so I want to make sure all the water goes off. If you're not a subscriber already, hit that subscribe button. Hit the bell for notifications. Smash that like button to help this video get out there, help our channel get seen. More importantly, go make something.